Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Tewa. I am a student at Line. I am talking about, I'm to present a speech. That my speech is titled, Raising Minimum Wage, a Step Towards Economic Justice. Raising minimum wage, a step towards economic justice. Greetings, everybody. Imagine working 40 hours a week, sometimes juggling around 2 or 3 jobs, and still unable to meet up your needs, still unable to pay your rent, still unable to afford health insurance for yourself and your family. This is not just an imaginary thing. It is reality for many millions of Americans out there. The federal minimum wage today, I stand before you to argue that raising the minimum wage is not an economically sound but also a morally important issue. It's necessary towards our economy justice in a society that promises opportunities and to all. Raising the minimum wage will reduce poverty, stimulate economic growth, and uphold the principle that all work deserves fair compensations. The minimum wage is outdated and ineffective. The current federal minimum wage in the United States of America is $7.25 per hour, unchanged since 2009. When adjusted for inflation, the wage is worth significantly less today, offering fewer goods and services than it did over decades ago. A full-time minimum wage worker earns only about $15,000 a year, below the federal poverty line for a family of 2. In essence, we are legalizing poverty. 2, raising the wage reduces poverty and inequality. The economic benefits of a higher minimum package are well documented. The Congressional Budget Office projected that raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour could lift 900 Americans out of poverty. Additionally, more than 27 million workers will receive higher earnings. Many of them essential workers in food services, retail companies, caregiving jobs are going to benefit. These are the same individuals we applaud during the COVID-19 pandemic. Shouldn't they earn enough to live a dignified life? That question is left for you to answer. Furthermore, the policy will help narrow racial and gender wage gap. According to the National Women's Law Center 2023, nearly 2/3 minimum wage workers are women. And women of minimum wage is a matter of equity, giving historical marginalized group the financial stability they have long been denied. 3, it stimulates the economy. Critics often argue that raising the minimum wage leads to job losses. But decades of research says otherwise. A study by the Center for Economic and Policy Research concluded that modest increase in the minimum wage have little or no negative effect on the employment. Why? Because when low-income workers earn more, they spend more on groceries, rent, transportation, which fuels demand, and boosts local economies. Cities and states that have already raised their minimum wage, such as California and Washington, continue to see economic growth, lower unemployment, and higher consumer spending. 4. A moral and social imperative. Economic justice is not just a policy issue, it's a moral one. How can we justify a system where people who work full-time still live in poverty? Dr. Martin Luther, the genius, wisely stated, there is the inseparable twin of racial injustice is economic injustice. We cannot claim to be a just society while ignoring a financial suffering of millions of Americans. If we truly work, we must do a fair compensation. No one working full-time should have to choose between rent and food or between medicine and electricity. In conclusion, raising the minimum wage is long overdue. It is a vital step towards creating a fairer or a more equitable society, one where work is respected, families are supported, and opportunity is real for everyone. Thank you.